Life's biggest unknown and mystery is what happens at the end. Where do we go? What waits for us in the afterlife? Is there anyone to greet us? Perhaps you will be shown the way by a robed and hooded figure, taking your spiritual hand in their bony grip. The Grim Reaper is the popular personification of death. But where did this symbolism begin? How did this face of death and mortality become a form we all recognise? Throughout the centuries, the releasing of one's soul at death has been portrayed many ways. Flown away by the winged angel of death, slain by the fourth horseman of the apocalypse atop the pale horse, or life reaped by the scythe-wielding Grim Reaper. Death has been given a physical form since the 14th century, where European art depicted a figure amongst one or multiple animate skeletons. The Romantic cultures of Italy and France imagined death as female, whereas Slavic and Germanic cultures inspired death to be male. At this time, Europe was devastated by the pandemic of the Black Death, a bubonic plague that killed as many as 50 million people between 1347 and 1351. The fast and vast numbers of dead during this time inspired the symbolism of the scythe, a farmer's tool used at harvest to reap through large swaths of grain crops. Just as we harvest our crops, so does death harvest souls for their journey into the afterlife. It was at this time that the powerful symbols of memento mori, a Latin phrase meaning remember you must die, were adopted into the imagery of death, with the hourglass being a metaphor for the passing of time and mortality. Clutched in death's hands of bone, reminding us that our days are numbered and that when the last grain of sand falls, our time is up. During the Renaissance of the 15th and 16th centuries, the combining of a skeletal figure and scythes became more common in artistic portrayals of death, possibly inspired further by the similarly named Greek god and Greek titan Cronus, who were both associated with the reaping of the harvest and wielding of a scythe or sickle. It was around the early 16th century German artist Albrecht Dürer created a variety of personifications of death, but most commonly as an emaciated and corpse-like old man. His charcoal drawing in 1505 solidifying the representation of death, a crowned skeletal figure riding atop a horse, holding the now familiar reaping scythe. It was not until the 19th century that a change of symbolism occurred, in that black was the colour of death and mourning. This was heavily influenced by Queen Victoria, who notoriously only wore black after the death of her husband, Prince Albert. At this time, the character of death's clothing, a hooded robe, became dark and symbolic of death itself. The name Grim Reaper originated at this time, with the name first appearing in printed works in 1847. It has a two-part meaning, with Grim having a strong connotation for something sinister, and Reaper coming from the symbolic connection between death and reaping of the harvest, a concept that dates to the start of our story in the 14th century. The image and symbolism of the Grim Reaper have been solidified in our historical and modern popular culture, and whether you believe that at your final end they will ferry your soul to the afterlife or not, it is no doubt a face you will recognise.